This is a total fake ripoff of the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I bought it on AliExpress for about half the price of the real deal. So, is it any good? Let's jump in and find out. Hey guys, welcome back to another video from China Tech, and in here I have a totally fake Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I was literally just browsing AliExpress one night and I saw it and I thought I have to check this out. So with that said, let's jump straight in, open this box up and see if this controller is any good. Alright, so this is the packaging, definitely not the nicest packaging, but here is our controller. We've got some stuff as well. I'll just put that down. It looks like we have a little cable here, so this is actually the USB-C charging cable. You can see we have a little instruction booklet as well, but here is the actual controller itself, and this is actually insane. It seriously feels and looks just like the real Pro controller. Like, that is actually so awesome. If you just look at it, this is obviously the white version, the Smash version, but you can see like it's the same layout. It looks like we've got the same colors. I saw up here we have a plastic little covering. I'll just peel that off, and you can see like it's pretty much a total rip-off. You can see obviously we have the button up here, we have the triggers, and we have the textured grips as well. Up the front we obviously have our analog sticks, our buttons, all the buttons that you'd expect, the D-pad and stuff. Like, honestly, this controller is actually an incredibly good fake. Like, if you just handed this to someone, I'm not sure they'd be able to tell that this is fake. So we'll have to try it out in a few minutes and check out whether it actually works. But on my first impression, I am blown away. This was only about, half the price of a real Pro controller, but from what I've just, had in these first few minutes of playing with the controller, it seriously feels just like the real Pro controller. It's pretty incredible. I'm noticing that, there are just a few minor things, like maybe the buttons, you could say, feel slightly mushier, and then these actual four face control buttons sort of actually feel a little bit clickier than on the real Pro controller. The D-pad feels very similar, and the analog sticks may be slightly less snappy than on the real Pro controller, but those are pretty minor things compared to the fact you can get a fake controller that is almost as good for about half the price. It really is pretty incredible. So I think now we should probably connect it into my Nintendo Switch and check out whether it actually works and just how good it is. So I'll do that now, and let's switch over. Alright, so I've just zoomed in a bit, and if I go here, we can actually connect in the controller. So I'll go add the controller, and I'll just hold down the connect button, and it will scan, and hopefully we're expecting it to connect in. There we go. So that was the controller, that's all paired in now. You can see as well, this is pretty cool. It's come up with the actual colorway on the controller. So this is the white pattern on the screen, and obviously this is the white controller. Just moving around, the buttons work. There we go, we're moving, the D-pad's working. So far, so good. This looks pretty awesome, actually. But let's jump into a game of Smash and just put this controller through its paces. Alright, so I am just noticing something. So I'm just in the Smash select screen, actually, and listen to this. That was the sound of the vibration motor. The vibration motor in this fake Pro controller. So that is obviously one area where they've skimped, because that sounded absolutely garbage. So obviously the vibration motors in this Pro controller just maybe are a bit lower quality than in the real Pro controllers. Or perhaps, maybe it's just their quality control's pretty garbage as well. I'm not quite sure, but that is definitely something to note, that the vibration motors in this fake Pro controller are certainly a little bit loud, certainly a little bit fake sounding. For some people that won't make a difference, but for some people that it will be a big turn off. So just wanted to let you know that the vibration motors in this fake Pro controller definitely leave something to be desired. Alright, so after that, I've just, played a game, whatever, and I've got to say, as I said at the start, this feels just like a real Pro controller, and, now that I've had a chance to play as well, I can say that it definitely works just as well as the real Pro controller as well. All the buttons are, responsive, they work fine. Overall, it just feels like the Pro controller. It's exactly what you expect, apart from, as I was saying, those vibration motors. Those seem to be the big drawback and the obvious flaw in this controller, is that they are really loud and just not as good as those on the real Pro controller. So whether that is the big decider or not is up to you. And you know, for some people, it'll be worth paying double the price of this to get the real Pro controller and get that genuine, you know, perfect experience. But for some people, you know, this is exactly what you've been after. Maybe a Pro controller is a bit too expensive. So a controller like this at about half the price of the Pro controller, you're getting essentially the same experience, barring, as we've said, those vibration motors. So if that's not awesome, I don't know what is. But overall, I hope you enjoyed checking out this fake Pro controller. I'll have a link to it in the video description as well, where you can check it out and even buy one for yourself as well. That'd be awesome, and that would support this channel. I am also planning on doing a full comparison between this fake Pro controller and the real Pro controller in the near future, so make sure to subscribe down below if you are interested in seeing that. Apart from that though, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. Thank you for watching another video from China Tech, and I'll catch you in the next video.